Couple quick more questions. Do you have a political role model? Is there anybody who you thought really did a bang-up job and you would like to emulate?
Well, I would say that, one of the people that really inspired me was Mitch Daniels. I thought Mitch Daniels, I was, of course, a younger person at that time, but really watched his drive for results and the way that he led, and he certainly inspired me. I'd say on a very personal level, someone who coached and mentored me since I was about 25 was John Costas, the former mayor of Valparaiso, who's still a coach and mentor to me. John's now older, but he's in his 60s and I'm in my 50s. But he's been coaching me since I've been in my 20s. And I really watched what he did in Valparaiso, and it inspired me to get engaged here in Fort Wayne in a deeper way. And I admire and respect him deeply.
Indiana's biggest strength?
I think Indiana's biggest strength is our people. We work really hard, and I think we have that reputation across the United States that we're a hard-working people. In addition, I think our location. We're in the middle of everyone. And we've had this conversation with business leaders around the world who come here and they're like, where am I? And we looked at them and smiled and said, you're in the middle of everywhere. We really are. Like, if you look at the 7 major metros that are around here, there's a lot of population in the United States that's within less than a day's drive. And that gives us a lot of opportunity, especially with a dedicated, hardworking workforce. And plus, everyone says this, and I agree with it, Hoosiers are some of the nicest people on the planet. And there's a lot of truth to that, and I think that serves us well.
Our biggest weakness?
Well, I think our biggest weakness, from my perspective, is the fact that we have a really good life, and sometimes good is the enemy of excellence. And so I think that one of the things that we have to, as Indiana Hoosiers, look at some of our communities that are maybe a little more distressed and say that's no longer acceptable. We're not going to have a distressed community with 20 or 15 or 10,000 people living in a distressed community. We're going to work together, come together, and we're going to make sure that community is thriving, that it has higher community pride, and I think that's our opportunity. And by the way, what that does is attract and retain our children and grandchildren, and inspires them to want to live in Indiana, which is important to me with my kids and grandkids. But it also inspires other people to move here and bring their talents to Indiana as well.
And on day one, say everything just falls right into place, you're elected governor. This is years from now, but what do you think day one looks like? What's your first move?
Well, I like your statement. It is years from now, and I'm not sure that I've thought about exactly day one. But look, I think day one is getting right to work. It's, we will have by that time had a strategy. We've had a strategy. We will have stated the strategy. And we're going to, obviously when you get sworn in as governor, you're right in the middle of a budget session. And so that's the way that this is set up in the state of Indiana. So we're going to roll up our sleeves. We're going to work really hard to enact the agenda that we've been telling the state of Indiana that we're going to do, which is to improve communities all over the state, and that every county, every city counts.
Anything else?
Not from my perspective.
Fantastic. Thanks again for your time.
Yeah, thank you.